Hey guys, Kev here, and it's time to talk about another Divo drop, baby. It came up fast. The Growler V3s have been in for a little while, and White Mountain Knives and us, we want to get the knives out there. And so we tried to spread it out as much as we could from the small boy drop. And, so we gave it a 2-week window. So hopefully anybody who was picking up a small boy that wants a Growler V3 gets another paycheck in time. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we got here. We got the Growler V3s. I got my Blade City Hulk exclusive small boy here. And let's check them out. So these are the Growler V3s. This is a model we've been working on for a while. Once we started doing the mini Growler, we started working on the Growler XL. We took the improvements we made on those two and we implemented them on the Growler V3. And then we added something different that we haven't done on the Growler before. So we are gonna drop this guy and then we are going to do the Mini again and the XL in a V2 with all these updates. So pretty cool stuff. This is the sticker for the Growler V3. You can see here, front flipping fun. So that kind of gives it away. There's the little Divo monkey right there, the Growler monkey. We got some hardware because we handle the warranty stuff. So I have White Mountain Knives send me all the hardware. I believe they should have sent me one of each of the accent kits that'll be available because I can't remember what I ordered. I always try to order some cool stuff, but we'll see if those are in there. Here they are. So we do have some accent kits, as you can see, pretty standard stuff. Oh, you can see the Zerkatai. Oh, you can see the mill clip. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Okay, here we go, guys. We got peanuts. Let me dump these out real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so let's get them out of here so we can get this box out. As you can see, we have some super sick packaging. Shout out to Colin for the amazing artwork as usual. The guy is a freaking beast with graphics. This one, I believe, was all him. He took the Gorilla from the Growler XL and he did them up for the V3. So, this drop is going to be a little bit different, guys. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're trying something new. We've done something similar, but not quite to this extent on the mini Growler, I think it was. So you're going to see 5 versions of this knife. So there's only 5 versions of this knife. And then there's 2 blade steels. So we have 154 cm and we have S90V. So we have 2 blade steels, 2 price points because we wanted to offer you guys the option. And I really wanted to do this as a test. Because I want to see what you guys like, okay? Do you prefer to have the little bit more budget steel, still an absolutely fantastic steel in 154 cm, and pay a little less? Or would you rather pony up, no pun intended, would you rather pony up and get the S90V and go all out? That's the question. We're going to find out the answer on this drop because 5 versions, 10 total versions because we have 2 steels for each. The only one that is different one to the other is the reverse tucks. So on the reverse tucks, we have 154 cm with a DLC polish blade. They can't do a DLC polish on S90V. So we opted to keep it as S90V, not switch to M390. And then we did a DLC belt satin. So the reverse tux S90 is belt satin. Reverse tux 154 is a polish. So I just wanted to note that. All the other ones are identical from one to the other. It's just the steel difference. So let me give you a quick look. The thumbnail is probably going to be something like this, so get used to it. But yeah, let's check them all out, huh? Slide these up. We're just going to do one at a time, and I guess what? Why don't we start with that version since I was getting it ready. Let me stack. Man, I love how these boxes look. Colin absolutely killed it. I love this pop camo box. Look at that, dude. Look at the colors in there. We're going to check this box out real quick for sure. 80s looking absolutely money, dude. Man, Colin. Love them. All right, so here's the box. Check it out. You got the handle material. You got the blade, steel and finish. You got the Divo Knives logo. It's the new logo on there. Growler V3. Divo Knives, DivoKnives.com, and then, of course, White Mountain Knives. Anything Growler is going to be a White Mountain Knives exclusive. We love those guys. Shout out to them. Same box here. Just going to see 154 cm on that one. So, should be fun when they're packing these up. They're going to have to pay attention to the steels, right? So, let's check out the DLC polish one first. We're going to have the standard box with the cloth inside. This is going to be a new milling pattern for us, guys. Really excited about it. We did 2 new milling patterns on this knife, and this one I really love, so I'm excited. Hope it looks great in person. Comes with this cloth, but of course, you know, you're going to get a 12x12 Divo cloth that you can absolutely abuse like me. And you'll get the sticker. You'll also get Divo sticker, and yeah, you'll get the long Divo sticker as well. Let's check this out. I'll shut up. You're going to get the wire clip with these knives. So on the small boy, we did not include the wire clips. Actually, Kubi forgot them, and then we decided to just offer them as a separate item, and that is how we're going to do it from now on. Just because it makes the most sense. We probably sold 50 wire clips with the small boy order. You know, 1,200 knives on that run, 50 wire clips. So we don't want to spend the money on all 1,200 and then people just leave them in a box or whatever, you know. Unfortunately, it looks like they went with a, you know, not my favorite wire clip. This is not a low profile wire clip, but hey, it comes with the knife, comes with the clip screw. It is better for front flipping though, so that might be why they chose this one. I wish they had asked me. I guess I just assumed they would use the same low profile one we've used on every other knife we've done with them, including the mini growler. So, hey, what are you gonna do? Let me put that back in the box because I am totally gonna screw that up. Okay, here is the chevron style milling pattern. That is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Look at that, dude. Holy shit. The contouring on the Growler is fantastic. Of course, this model is a classic in my opinion. This is one of our OG, absolutely phenomenal models. Shout out to White Mountain Knives. Shout out to you guys for all the support on the Growler model. And it's looking good here. So let me give it a front flip. Bang. So that was the addition that we made. Subtle. Nothing crazy, right? They got oil all over this blade, so, you know, that's unfortunate. Let me see if I can just clean it up a little bit, get you guys a nice look at this beautiful mirror polished 154 cm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm a total dork. DLC polish on the accents as well and on the hardware. Yeah, this is going to be a winner, guys. You got plenty of lock bar access, so having that DLC polish lock bar should not make much of a difference. Not going to be like slippery and make it difficult to disengage. Yeah, I'm still getting in there, no problem. Reverse flick is still money. And then, of course, we have the front flip. And we went with the binge style front flipper. We just, with this design, had to push it out a little bit. If you guys were paying attention along the way, we did a few prototypes of the V3 because we had to get this front flipper right. We were not going to do a subpar front flipper. We wanted it to be as good as it could be with this design. And originally we had a little like kind of post here. It looked like shit, didn't like it. We tried another version of it, didn't like it. And we went to the binge style and absolutely love it. You're gonna get that reach around action because you get the full jimping on there. You're gonna get the rollback action. Look at that, no clip needed. And of course you're gonna get the ever fantastic front flip action. I would argue the Growler model has always had a bit of a stiff detent, almost too stiff. So now with this front flipper, they had to bring it down just a little bit. And that's another benefit of this style front flipper is that you don't need to have a super light detent. Because it has so much traction, you just don't need a soft detent. So they're still able to do this model with a nice snappy detent. And I would actually say it's basically the perfect detent at this point. Yeah, probably the best detent I've felt on the Growler model. And you're getting that front flipper. So absolutely fantastic. You can see that plunge grind is way back there. We pulled it back as far as we could. You're going to have plenty of room to sharpen, at least as far as I'm concerned. Flat grind, but absolutely a tall blade, and that makes it slicey as hell, guys. One of the best slicers in our lineup. This model right here is freaking gorgeous. Wow. Now, this is going to be the beginning of, not the beginning, but I'd say the continuation of a new era when it comes to Divo knives. We are going to the inset tab lock on everything and anything we can. And that means you're not going to have full liners, right? You're going to have just the lock bar liner. So it is basically an inset lock bar. Or inset liner lock, that's what I call them. Tab lock, you can call them. Absolutely fantastic. Look at all the milling in there. This thing weighs nothing. Cannot wait to handle the carbon versions. God damn, this is nice. So you're going to have, that was a great whistle, wasn't it? Shit. 154 cm right there. These are not numbered. Oh, yes, they are. I was going to say, I could have sworn I asked for it. Man, we ordered these like a year ago at this point. So just, you know, I got to remember stuff. I was thinking maybe we didn't start doing the numbering yet, but there you go. 15 of 50 on this one. Yeah, I couldn't be happier right now, honestly. Kubi, you guys killed it. I don't mind waiting a year. I don't mind waiting 10 months. I don't mind that. If you're going to deliver a product like this, dead center, there's no complaining from me. Thank you. You know, so here's the S90V, guys. So this one is going to have a standard DLC on the hardware. So because we switched it to a belt satin DLC, I decided we should go with a regular or matte DLC on the hardware as well, just because I think it makes more sense. Here's the polish. I think it would have looked good either way, but I think it looks better with the belt satin. You get that matte look on the DLC. So you've kind of reverse tux two ways here, you know what I mean? Both absolutely gorgeous. One of the things I love about the Growler, now that we're able to get these DLCs and the belt satin and whatnot, look at the grind lines on that. Having such a tall blade like that, it really lets your grind stand out. And that's before I wipe it down. Let's see what happens when I actually wipe this biznatch down a little bit. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Still looks fantastic with the bead blast finish on the titanium and that chevron pattern. Man, could not be happier with that chevron. Oh, my God. Woo! Another one dead center. Jesus, dude. Snappy front flipper. Yup. Hello. And it's just enough that you can reach out, at least for me, and front flip that baby. Man, I can't wait to bring out the Mini and the XL in this exact, just like, knife. I think the Growler is in its perfect form right here, guys. Real quick comparison to the XL, just so you can see it here. Here's a V1 XL production run. 4-inch blade on that guy. 11 inches overall. This is actually the standard size Growler. Feels small to me, honestly. But it is a 3.3-inch blade. So you can see here from the front, 3.3-inch blade. Let me get to the tip. There it is. There's 3 1/4. So, okay, 3 1/4-inch blade. And then your handle's coming in at 4 1/4 for that, what is it, 7.5 overall, which is pretty much our standard size. If you guys have a stout, here is a stout V2. Right here, they're going to be the same size. Here is a tall boy. So the tall boy is going to, I don't have a mini Growler just because people just talk me out of all my knives, all my protos, all my stuff. So I end up not having a lot of them. So here's a tall boy, just to give you guys a size reference, okay? Tall boy is a 3.5-inch blade, so just a little bit bigger than this. And then, of course, here's the small boy, which is going to be a 3-inch version. So right in between, which to me is the sweet spot in the marketplace, right? Like, should work for anyone and everyone. So anyway, that is the beautiful reverse tux in S90V. And again, you can pick your poison. So that's pretty cool. They did give me the HRC specs on the Growler. Let me grab that for you because you guys might be interested. Okay, so I got my email here. I'm showing 61 on the nose. It looks like just a touch over, maybe 61.1 there. That's the Growler, and then the V3. And then here's the small boy, actually. This one's showing 61.5, 61.4, somewhere around there. I think they also gave me the Growler in 154 cm. Let me see if I have that one here as well. That was the S90V HRC. I don't know if I can find it just off the cuff here. Give me one more sec. All right, so here is the 154 cm. 61 and a half. Damn. All right, so Kubi was getting 61.8, I guess you could call that, 61.8 on the 154 cm. That's pretty sick. Now, we would have to confirm that, and we probably will at some point here when we get a chance. But let's check out the next one. These are the 80s versions. We'll just start with 154 cm. Again, guys, from now on, these are going to be the same. It's just going to be the steel difference. So, satin pocket clip that comes with it. Wire clip, sorry. This comes with a milled pocket clip, by the way. That is an update from the V2. If you're wondering what's different from the V2 to the V3, well, the V3 has a sick custom box like this. The V3 is going to have an S90V option, which we've never done on a V2 Growler. It's going to have camo carbon, which we've never done on a V2 Growler. It's going to be linerless. We've never done that on a V2 Growler. It has the front flipper. Never done that on a V2 Growler. And I think I mentioned the milled clip. We also updated that plunge grind as mentioned earlier. You can see this is a hollow grind, which is done manually by a craftsman. So that plunge grind does come out a little bit further. So that's got something to do with the fact that this is done by hand or whatever. So it's a little bit further out, just something to note. they pull it back as far as they can, that's for sure. So we went with blue accents on the 80s. I thought we'd just try that. We usually go all satin or whatever. And you guys know I love purple, but we thought we'd go with a little bit of blue. And I think it's cool. And of course we have those accent kits, but you have belt satin with the 80s. And you guys can see here the 80s camo carbon is starting to look better. It's definitely coming around. If you remember the XL run, it was very minimal color, kind of like the original camo carbon. And I think this looks much better, in my opinion. I can't remember if the Growler V3 has the tabs. Oh, it does have the tabs. It should have the tabs. I can explain that. Let me just confirm by looking in here. I don't see the tab. It should be in there, though. Where's the stop pin? Let me see the stop pin. Is it an internal stop pin? What the heck? Oh, no, there it is. Yep, it has the tabs. Sorry. I thought I looked at this for somebody. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Ah, crap. I accidentally tapped. Damn it. Hold on. I absolutely hate when I do that. I accidentally tap the screen and it focuses on somewhere on the screen, and you cannot undo focus once you've tapped it. If anybody knows how to do that on an iPhone, to undo the focus once you've tapped it, because from then on, your video is screwed up because your focus is all messed up, and I have to start a new video, and then I gotta edit. Who wants to edit? So anyway, I was trying to zoom in. If you look down in here, you can see that metal tab that the stop pin is going into. That also goes around the pivot, and that is what the pivot rides, or the bearings ride on, so you don't need steel washers. And the reason we do this is because on the Mini Growler, the original run of the Mini Growler, well, I guess it's the only run of the Mini Growler, we did not have that. We had no liners, right? We started the linerless thing on that. And the stop pin just went into the carbon fiber, which is fine on camo carbon. It's fine on titanium, obviously. But we had one knife in weave carbon fiber, and we had one knife in G10, where the stop pin actually kind of like chipped out part of the material, and then it was a little bit loose. So then you had lock rock, or you had detent lash, or whatever. And there's no way for me to fix that because the scale is screwed. So I had to, swap the scales out from another knife or whatever. I figured it out, took care of the customers, of course, as we always do. But because of that, and yeah, it was only 2 knives, right? But it was an indicator to me, because those 2 knives were weave and they were G10. And Kubi always tells us with weave and G10, you should do full liners. At least after that, they started telling us that. And that's what we've done. Micarta, weave, and G10, we always do full liners. So we kind of avoid them now, to be honest. And the camo carbon, they always say it is strong enough that shouldn't be an issue. But we just think for stability's sake, it makes sense to have it go into metal. So we designed this little tab. It's a metal plate about that big. And it has the hole for the stop pin, and it has the hole for the pivot. And then the bearings can run on it like a washer, and the pin can go through it, and it's stabilized by that tab. So there's one on each side on these. I think the titanium ones don't have the tabs. They just have a washer, or they have it on one side. I can't remember. We'll look at it when I take it apart. But dead center, fantastic. Sorry, I'm rambling, but I just wanted to explain that to you. Really nice. The bearings in here should be 5mm 1/16 like previous versions, but don't hold me to that just because I haven't taken one of these apart yet. I will. Before the drop, I'll do a video taking it apart to show you, and we'll look at the bearings. So we'll have that listed for you. But That's the 154/80s. And then, of course, we've got the S90/80s. And it's good to know they both have good carbon on them. So a good amount of color. Definitely a good sign that the sheets are much better. I will say, if you look at the finish, you can almost see it. The S90V has a little bit more of like a gritty, not gritty, but like it looks like this one is finished to a higher polish or a higher grit, if that makes sense. Very subtle, but it does make sense because 154 can be polished a lot easier than S90V. But otherwise, they are functionally the same. This one's 43/50. This one, 47/50. And this one is 16/50. I don't know why anybody would care, but I'm just explaining. And they are numbered out of the number of that version. So S90V in 80s, there's 50, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. It's not for the full run. There's more than 50 knives. I think there's 500 total. 50 of each version, 5 versions, and then each one in different steels. So this is going to be the other titanium option. This is our other milling pattern we went with, and it is all acid washed, and it has a, I'll show you, it's got this kind of wavy pattern on it that I thought looked really cool. Check that out. This is going to be your, whoo, did you hear that? This is going to be your user version. You're completely dark washed on this. So dark wash titanium handle, dark wash titanium hardware, dark wash titanium pivot collars, dark wash titanium pocket clip, dark wash titanium backspacer, and then you're going to have the acid washed titanium blade. Nice dark acid wash, baby. I'm a really big fan of the acid wash. Man, the action. I don't know if you guys are hearing this one, but man, it sounds great. Woo! Feels fantastic. You got that full length jimping that is a Growler staple, and we're starting to do it more on other stuff too. The action is incredible on this. Beautiful pocket clip, by the way. It is basically the same clip from the Growler, or sorry, the Growler, from the small boy and the tall boy. Let's see, I think it's tall boy length, so it might be a touch longer than the small boy clip, see? Just a touch longer, and that is how the tall boy is too. But they're interchangeable. That's something that's very important to us that we're trying to make a thing. We want you guys to be able to swap clips around. So if you take this pocket clip, which you need a T8 for, so unscrew that. If you take that off, and then you take your same T8, and you unscrew the clip on your small boy or tall boy or saloon or Growler XL, they should all fit. They better fit, Kubi. Yes, okay, they fit. Jeez. Now, I can't promise the length of the screw is going to be good on all of them. It's possible that sometimes the screw will be too long and it'll stick out into your handle. So make sure you pay attention to that if you're using the screw from another model. But as you can see here, this one's perfect. Nothing sticks out. And now I have the clip from the Growler V3 on here. What does that mean? Well, it means you can swap clips around. And we do plan to order a more universal clip. Actually, we did. We're ordering them with the Mash V3s. It's similar to this, but it has a straight at the top. It doesn't have this triangle peak. Straight at the top, so that way it will fit the end of the handle on pretty much any knife that takes this pattern. So then you can buy, you know, Zircuit tie or whatever. We'll have all different options just for the clip, not collars, not all that stuff. Let me just put this back together. So you just drop that little plastic guy on there, since this is a sample knife that I'm going to either sell or send to a reviewer or keep or whatever. I just want to make sure I take care of it. Tighten it down. Boom. Absolutely beautiful. Set this aside, but as you can see, those clips were interchangeable, which is awesome. All right. One other thing, the pivot collars should also be interchangeable, and that goes for the tall boy as well. I believe the same collars are on the small boy and the tall boy and the Growler V3, and I believe the Saloon as well. So that way you can swap clip collars, you can swap studs from these two. Not every knife has studs. Obviously these studs are smaller, but they would fit, I think. I'd have to double check, but I think. Point being is there's more interchangeability than just the clip. Obviously backspacers are unique to every knife. But I say that because we obviously have kits to sell, and maybe you missed out on the kits for the small boy. Well, you can take most of it. You would be able to swap out the clip collars and, well, I guess just the clip and collars because we don't have studs for the Growler. So anyway, I digress. Trying to make things interchangeable as much as possible is the point. So here is the S90V version. Comes with the acid wash steel wire clip in the box, and then of course you have the milled version there, and this is the S90V. Again, it looks very similar. Might be a little darker on the 154 CM, but damn near the same. I think I maybe like the look a little better on the one. It seems like finishes take just a little bit better on 154 CM, but I could be crazy. More matte on this one. That could just be a knife to knife thing, or it could be a steel thing. But you got to know they all have different properties, and that is a reason why they take finishes slightly differently. And I've never really had the same knife side by side to compare like that. So it's pretty cool. Titanium ones are going up top, and the carbon ones are going at the bottom. Let me get rid of this because I keep banging it into things. All right, pop camo, baby. Excited to check these out. So this is going to be our blacked out DLC version with camo carbon. So kind of like we do the Wakanda Forever version with a lot of stuff. We're trying to switch that up a little bit. We're trying to do some blurple, and of course our camo carbon color, pop camo, purple, orange, pink. That is our Divo color. We came up with it and worked with camo carbon to develop it. DLC wire clip, and here it is, baby. Absolutely gorgeous. Purple accents, and you got the purple, orange, and pink camo carbon scales on there. A little bit more muted on this side, on this example. We'll see how the other one is, but this side is popping, so that's really cool. This is the S90V version. You got that beautiful belt satin DLC. They both have that. This is number 33 of 50. I didn't check these. 17 of 50. Did I say that earlier? That was a different one, right? 22 of 50. Action is bananas. I gotta weigh one of these because dude, stupid lightweight. Absolutely fantastic action though. Could not be happier with how these came out. Kubi killed it, dead centered. Look at that, just gorgeous. Personally, I guess I would like a little more color over here, but you know, it's the luck of the draw when it comes to camo carbon for the most part, unless a dealer lets you pick, which is crazy when you have so many knives. But look at that pink, dude. That's crazy. But luckily, the clip is over here, so it kind of gives it a pop, shall I say. Very cool. Love the box too. The coloring is perfect. Colin absolutely crushed it on that. Here is the 154 version. Let's see how he did on this one. So, not as muted on this side, but similar. It's almost like that. That's kind of funny. And then this side's got more color to it. So you know what? It might be cool to do like a swap on this. I don't know if I'll do it, but that would be a lot of work. But if I took the show side from here and put it with this, I think it would match better. Like these two match better, and these two match better. That's kind of funny. That's just kind of the way it goes with camo carbon. I love it. I love that nuance to it. Like every camo carbon knife you buy is its own, right? It's rare that they look so similar, you know, and I love that. Get the roll back going there. Let me try that again. That was a weak one. There we go. Roll back, reach around, and of course, the front flip, baby. Really nice. Pop camo. Love it. 43 of 50 on this bad boy. And we have 33 of 50 on this bad boy. All right. Move them down a little. Last but not least is the purple Nurple, guys. We got the purple Nurple Growler V3. So you're going to have purple flow camo carbon. And you're going to have purple accents. And you're going to have a belt satin on this one. Satin wire clip with it. Pretty classic Divo setup right here. Looking good. It's going to match all your purple Nurple knives that you may already have. Like so. This is a Wakanda, but love it. Don't let me forget to give you guys prices. Yell at me. I have my computer up right here so I could tell you, and I totally forgot. This one's number 7 of 50. We got our first single-digit one. I always ask Justin to send me random ones. I'm not trying to pull out specific knives. I never do that. Even when I have the knives and I'm picking the ones I want to show on video or whatever, I just take a random one. I don't even try to find one with a nicer scale or whatever. I want you guys to see the random sampling that you would get. You know what I mean? I think that's only fair. Absolutely gorgeous. Centered? Yep. Crazy. Kubi is on point, my friends. The purple flow looks good too, by the way. Nice color. So I think you guys are going to be happy with the carbon on this run. Very nice. Ooh, that one's got some pop. Snappy, snappy. Man. Very nice. This is number 45 of 50. So that is all of the versions you're going to be able to get, guys. S90V and 154cm. And then your choice of camo carbon or titanium. And then you can choose your milling pattern and finish if you're getting titanium. Or you can choose your camo carbon of choice. And then, of course, you have your steel choice. So lots of options, I think. Lots of cool options as well if you like DLC. If you like polished DLC. If you like belt satin, matte DLC, you have options there. If you like one steel or another steel. If you like belt satin, you have a couple of choices, a couple of classic choices, right? If you want that Wakanda Forever feel, you have this one, Pop Forever. No, I don't know. And then if you got your workhorse, like you're going to abuse this thing, well, guess what? You're probably going to want S90V acid wash to do the job, right? If it's going to be an EDC, light EDC, but you tend to do some tougher stuff or get tape all over shit, boom. You want the 154 cm acid wash version, right, with the dope milling on it. And if you're a baller, shit, you can go all polished reverse tux or belt satin reverse tux. I think that's pretty sick, guys. Let me give you the prices on the knives, and then we'll get to the accents, and then I'm going to get you fools out of here. By the way, we do have wire clips on our website from the Small Boy Drop. We got those to go with any of our knives that have the wire clip slots. The Kubi made ones might be a little tougher on like the older ones or the Stout V2. I'm not sure how the wire clip is going to fit with this screw, but it could work. We might be able to get you a screw or something. But anyway, if it's a Kubi made one, then you're going to be good to go with the wire clips we have on our website. They're like $7. And then I did update our shipping policy. So we only have 2 options now. Really, they're not options. It's just flat rate under 100 is $5. And then flat rate over 100 is $10. You're not choosing which carrier, any of that stuff. You can't choose next day. I just want to make it simple, and I wanted to make it transparent, and I wanted to make it realistic, 3 to 5 business days, just for simplicity's sake. But anyway, so you can pick up a wire clip. It'll cost you $12 out the door. That's not bad in my opinion. But of course, you'll get one in the box with this one. But if you want the low profile one, you can get a nice short low profile wire clip on our website. And we have all the different finishes that would work in this scenario, so it should be good there. All right, prices. Shut up, Kev. All right. We get the MacBook going here. Let's see. Hardware. No. Okay. All right, so reverse tux, we're looking at $189 on the 154 cm. $189. Now, that's going to be comparable to the Growler XL we did, which, if I recall correctly, the Growler XL in this exact version without this dope milling was $199. And this one's $189, so it's $10 cheaper because the XL is obviously bigger. It costs a little bit more. And you're going to have a 10% discount code because it's White Mountain Knives. You can use the code LEFTY10, of course, and you'll save $19 on this bad boy. So you're looking at $170 out the door. I think they still have free shipping, right? Not sure. But something like that. $170 on this beautiful DLC polish and reverse tux version. Okay? I think that's extremely fair. Considering the cost of doing a DLC polish on everything, including the hardware, the accents, and of course that big old blade, is not free. So that's why it costs a little bit more. The belt satin reverse tux version is $249. So this is the same price as a DLC belt satin small boy or any other Divo that's come out in the last year. That's been our price point on those for a while. So $249. And again, 10% code. You're going to save $25 essentially. So you're looking at $225 out the door if they still have free shipping. So $170 to $225. That's up to you. You save $50 essentially. I wanted to make sure it was around $50 you saved between the two. So you decide if that $50 is worth S90V. In this case, it's going to be a blade finish difference, so that might skew some stuff. But all these other ones are identical. So let's get into those. The pop camo in 154 cm, which is not this one, is going to be $189. So again, the fancy DLC finish, whether it's a belt satin or or a polish, it's going to cost the same for us. So it's going to cost the same for you guys. So $189 on this one. So again, $170, and then again, you're going to be looking at $250 on the S90V version. All right, that's going to be, no, it's not, never mind. The 80s version is going to be $169 because this is a belt satin, not a DLC belt satin. So this one's going to be $169. That's $17 off with Lefty 10. So what's that? 170 minus 17, 153. I don't know. I suck at math. 153 is pretty damn good, guys. 153 for 154 CM and 80s camo carbon, all titanium everything, inset tab lock, linerless design, man. Yeah. The S90V version, $229. Standard Divo pricing on belt satin and camo carbon with S90V, $229. You're going to save $23 with Lefty 10. So somewhere around 205 or whatever. 206, 207, I don't know, something like that. Just over 200 bucks. Oh shit, that's good, dude. Trust me. You know, I try to be very humble about the pricing, but I feel like we try to be extremely affordable in the mid-range. Sorry, I need a drink. My nose is getting stuffy because I'm talking too much. Yeah, I don't like to like brag about our prices. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just think they're reasonable, and you know, if you question the price, it is what it is. I mean, $207 for S90V, all titanium hardware and collars and everything, and then camo carbon, S90V I already said, and belt satin. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Yes, can you get less than that? Of course you can, especially if you bought like a direct Kubi knife. If you bought a KB knife in S90V and all this stuff, actually, these days, I think it might cost more. I don't know. But there's brands that'll sell you something for less. But you got to remember, White Mountain Knives is the dealer, Divo is the brand, and Kubi is the OEM. So we got 3 mouths to feed. And, of course, all the shipment and transportation and such. And it's still coming in at $205 or whatever. I don't know. I think that's extremely reasonable, but I'm just going to shut up about it. I apologize. All right, same pricing on the Purple Nurple. So $170, $230, and again, codes apply if you want to. If you want to pay full price, go for it. Now, last but not least, we have the Dark Wash version, which is going to come in at that base price. So the cheapest or the least expensive Growler V3 is going to be the Dark Wash version in 154 CM. This bad boy is going to be $159. $159 in 2026. And the code, of course. So you're going to be at $16 off. You're going to be looking at $144? $140, under $150. If shipping's free, out the door, under $150 on a Growler V3. Yes, when we originally did the V3 in 154 CM, we were able to sell them for, I don't know, $110 or whatever it was. But it's not 2023 anymore, guys. We're doing our best over here. But anyway, you're getting a lot of upgrades from the Growler V2. Would love to see a comparison. I don't actually even have one, which is kind of funny. But there's tons of upgrades. So it is what it is. I don't even know if we did a titanium Growler V2. I don't think we did. So yeah, there's no comparing really. We never did camo carbon or titanium. I think we did aluminum, we did G10, we did weave, stuff like that. So yeah. Workhorse for under 150. I say more, please, but that is up to you guys. All right, let's talk about the hardware now. This one fell out of there. So we do have blue crystal tie. So that's cool. I didn't realize we did crystal tie. Of course we did. It's me. That would look absolutely dope on the 80s version if you threw some blue crystal on there. By the way, I just want to note for you guys, the way these come packaged, I don't think White Mountain Knives will have the time to do this. I wish I did. But usually, the way they come, this one looks pretty good actually. If you hit it with some alcohol, I always recommend when you get a hardware kit from anyone that you clean it before you install it, or after you install it. It's just easier before. Wipe this down with alcohol. Usually it's gonna make it look a bit nicer. The purple crystal in particular needs it, but yeah, you can see it right there. Look at that. That changed completely after I cleaned it. So I just want to be clear that, the pictures on the website or whatever may not be the best. But look at this. Beautiful blue crystal tie. You slap that on here, it looks more like the blue on the knife. So it's going to look really good in my opinion. Try not to, okay. Okay, Kev. Okay, this one might be mine. There you go. Yeah, baby. That's looking fine. Looking good. I don't know if we can clean this blue and maybe get a little better out of that too. I will admit I don't love Kubi's blue ano because they, I don't know. That does look better though already. The matte bead blasted like finish with the blue is not my favorite. I like the purple a lot though. But anyway, that's the blue crystal. And I think I just proved it looks amazing once you actually clean it up a little bit. What am I doing here? Did this go? Okay, this was inside of here? Or was this separate? That's kind of what I was hoping. Okay. I'm not going to take them all out, I don't think, but I wanted to show you guys. The crystal tie should be 65 bucks. I don't know what they have on their website. I'll talk to them if it's different and they can leave it or not, whatever. But they have the blue crystal tie at 50 bucks. Damn. Yeah, I might tell them to go to 65 on that because what we pay is close to that. So there's the Zircon tie, of course. We always like to have a Zircon tie kit. You guys can see it's beautiful. I love the grays in there. Oh my God. Yeah, stunning. That's the side of the clip. You're going to get the top with the lines. I know, sometimes I'm like, I wish. And you got the collars. Very nice. The Zircon tie is going to be probably, 89, something like that. Where's the Zircon tie? Zircon tie. Polish, no. Come on. Zircon tie, 85. Okay, we do 89, whatever. There's the purple crystal tie. You can see, look at that. That one looks crazy. It almost looks like just polished. What the heck's going on here? Does this not just look like polished purple? Is that what I asked for? Look at that. Just look like a polished purple knife, or color. But then, this one you'll see in real time. Watch this. Looks kind of weird. I mean, it looks good, but it looks kind of weird. Wipe that shizzle down. Hopefully I'm right. And now, look at that. Look at that shit right there. Look at that. Just look at it. Shout out to Bees. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Man, does that make a difference. And it's still not doing it justice. In person, wow. It really does make a difference. So, yeah, don't trust whoever you're buying the kit from. Just clean it yourself. We don't always have the time to go through every kit and clean stuff, I know that would be ideal. I do like to put them in different baggies to make it look nicer. But White Mountain is sending these, so I can't control that as much. We did this, which is interesting. I can't believe they made the clip. This is copper, I think. What? Yeah. So they did a copper clip, which is so unusual because it's so malleable. Look at that. Why did they do it? So, yeah, I'll have to talk to, this is great. I'll have to talk to White Mountain about this. I probably only got like 5 of these or something. This is copper, guys. I thought it would look good on here, but I didn't ask for clips, I don't think. It should just be backspacer and collars because those, aren't going to have a problem. But because copper is so malleable, I don't know if you noticed how easy it was for me to bend that just now. I'll show you again. Barely even doing anything right now. And it's starting to, yeah. And it's not like, oh my God. It's not like springy. Titanium steel has some spring to it. So when you do that, it'll kind of flex back. This just like folds. So it's a terrible material for a clip. I guarantee you, if you get one of these, you're going to instantly catch it on something and it's going to just bend right in half. So we're not going to charge you for the clip. We're going to sell these for less, or I'll figure it out. Maybe we didn't pay for the clip, but these will not cost as much as a normal kit, and that's because the clip is useless, okay? So if you want to put it on there as decoration or you want to try to use it, go for it. I'm just telling you now, we're not charging you for this clip, and I can't replace it. It's not going to be something that we warranty because it's not supposed to actually be on the knife. Hopefully that makes sense. I know some people are still going to get mad somehow, but, I get it. It's either that or we pull all the clips out. But I think it would be kind of fun to leave them in and let you guys try them if you want to, for free. Maybe somebody who can make a clip. If you can make a copper clip like this survive a year on your knife as an EDC, I'll give you a new knife next year. Like, you got to prove it somehow. I don't know how you would. Standard purple titanium, which is kind of stupid because we have purple on both of these. So I don't know, maybe one of those or backup, or I guess you could get it to put on a small boy or something. This one's going to be DLC. So you're going to have just DLC. Some people don't like the purple colors on stuff. So they're going to want DLC on their pop camo DLC knife. So that's going to be for those people. Or people who just want to put it on something else. I don't know. Then we have standard blue. This is always the dog. Nobody buys this stuff. I don't know why. Nobody likes blue. Shout out to my buddy Casey, Knives Fast. Nobody likes blue. Just kidding. But this would be cool maybe on this guy or, whatever. I'm sure we only got a few of those. This is the Dark Wash or Dark Blast. It's this. So, backup or whatever. A lot of times I get those just to have extras. Oh, no. We did brass, too. So this is going to be the same situation. Kind of curious if it's just as malleable or if it's stronger. A little bit of weight because it's brass. Again, terrible clip material. Let's see. Yep, just wants to fold in half. So like a lot of times if I bend a titanium clip, it'll kind of bend, it'll like arch a little bit. But this just wants to fold like a V, right? It just wants to snap, but it can't because it's malleable, right? So it just bends in half or whatever. Very interesting. So same thing on the brass. Those would be just, if you get a clip, it's just free. It's included, but it's not part of the kit, and you didn't pay for it. Disclaimer, okay? Very curious to see what people do with those. One more, polished DLC. So if anybody wants to put polished DLC accents maybe on this version, I guess you could, even though the rest is matte. We don't sell the actual screws. We have warranty stuff, but we don't sell the screw sets. You could maybe put the polish on here. You could try some stuff. I don't know. And they'll be good for warranty if nobody buys them. So there we go. Those are the kits. The prices, $25. Yep, I already factored in these then. These are $25 because we shouldn't have gotten the clips, basically. I don't know if they just made them for fun or on accident. But $25, you're not paying for the clip, okay? The standard titanium ones, the blue, the purple, I think the DLC, the dark wash, those are 35. Oh no, I have them at 25. Okay. We usually do 35. Maybe I changed it because there's no studs, or I don't know, or previous pricing on growlers. But anyway, it looks like you're getting a deal. So 25 bucks for the tie kits. That's amazing. And the copper and brass. And then 50 on the crystal tie. I do believe that might change to 65 or 60. And then 85 for the Zircutai, which I think is more than fair for Zircutai. So that's it, guys. Sorry for the long one, as usual. I wanted to show you guys everything, go over everything I can. I will cover a reassembly, skiff bearing swap. I will do that on the next video sometime before the drop. I believe the drop is going to be on the 24th. So Friday, July 24th, that is next Friday, which is cool. So it's coming up, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you have an opinion on the steels? Do you like that idea about seeing what people like and what people buy and kind of, I don't know, I just think it's a curious thing. So we wanted to test the market on that. So let me know about that. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Like our prices are, I think, good in the mid-range. I think they're really good. Let me know if you disagree with that. For the materials and the build and everything you get, I think they're good. I'm not going to sit here and say they're the best prices ever, but I think they're solid for sure. What else? Let me know what you think about the new milling patterns. Are you excited about those? Do you want to see them on different knives, in different configurations, right? Yeah. Just let me know what you guys think about everything. Maybe when we do the disassembly, we could go balls deep and swap these guys out so I can swap the scales, because that might be fun to swap those. But who knows? I'm probably going to send a few of these out to reviewers as samples. I know at least one is going to Knife Addict Dylan, because he's been up my butt about it. He loves the Growler. He's a big Growler guy. And so it makes sense. And make sure he gets one to check out. And then he wanted to buy another one from White Mountain. So you can tell he's a serious Growler guy. So check out Knife Addict Dylan. He usually reviews all of our knives, which is awesome. We appreciate him. He's kind of like me, just brutally honest, says what he thinks. So I appreciate that. But look out for other channels like Knives Fast, maybe Bees Blades, and etc. I'll figure it out. And then, of course, I'll keep one or two for myself. Inevitably, I'll sell them to somebody who begs me, or sell it on Whatnot because I like money. But, I'll keep at least one for myself. Which one will it be? Take a guess in the comments. You know what? Yeah. Take a guess in the comments. Which one do you think I will choose? That's something I would love to hear. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a way to do a giveaway with that, but there's going to be multiple people who get it right. So first person to get it right gets a Divo mat. All right, gets one of these mats. We are going to put those on the website soon. Let me know if you're interested in that. Giant Divo keyboard and mouse pad kind of thing. But I'll give one away to the person who guesses which version I'll keep first. There's timestamps on the comments, so it'll be easy, right? Right? We might have to wait until the disassembly video and kind of figure out which one I do actually end up keeping, because I'm not going to just choose right now. So, yeah, that'll be a fun little contest for you guys. I love you guys so much. We truly appreciate the heck out of you guys. I hope you know that. Colin and I are extremely grateful for you guys. And we are also extremely grateful for White Mountain Knives. They allow us to bring out more knives than we could do on our own, and that means a lot. We love to do it. We love trying different finishes, trying different patterns, trying this and that. As you guys can tell, we go through iterations of things, and we test stuff, and we toss away the bad, and we keep the good, and we try to keep improving. And I think this knife is a testament to us improving models. The steel tabs in there. This is going to have the 2 pins, or the 2 pinholes to pop the collars out. You know, the linerless construction. Lots of little things that have changed over the years. If you compare this to the original Growler, it's going to be absolutely night and day. Of course, that one was $75, and this one's, you know, starting at $150 or whatever, but you get my point. Let me weigh one of these because I almost forgot. Let me grab a standard, just like camo carbon with belt satin. And then I'll grab just a titanium with, do I have one without coating? Well, I guess they're both kind of, they have something on them. So I'll just go with DLC. It's not going to make much of a difference, but here we go. Let's see. I'm going to guess just shy of like 3.5 ounces on the titanium. Ooh, just north, 3.8 on the titanium with DLC. And the carbon, I'm going to go with, now that I was wrong, 3.2. Oh, it went to 3.2 and then dropped. 3.1, 3 ounces. So I'm getting 3 ounces on the carbon fiber or camo carbon versions. So this is showing 3 ounces on my Rollo shipping scale. It went to 3.2 and then dropped 3.1 and then settled on 3.0. And this guy settled at 3.8. So there's 8 more ounces, I guess, of stuff in here. Of course, you're going to have the titanium. That's a big difference. It is heavily milled out, and all you have is that lock bar. But, you know, I don't think that's heavy. It's a 3.1/4 inch knife with a 3.8 ounce weight, and it's in titanium, which I think is solid. And then, of course, coming in under 1 ounce an inch, that is the way to go. That's why I love camo carbon. Personally, I just love that stupid lightweightness. But hey, I love you guys. Check out the Growler V3 at White Mountain Knives. Thank you so much. The drop is on 7/24, and I believe it's going to be at noon Eastern time. Usually that's when White Mountain likes to drop stuff, noon. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and I'm going to shut up now and go to sleep. Love you guys. Peace.